Test, test, test. It's hard to tell if this is working. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. And the quality's not terrible. Sorry guys. Not really expecting anyone to show up because obviously I don't do this often, as I'm sure everybody is aware. But nonetheless, I've been wanting to try my hand at live streaming for a while. And I figured this would be a good way to not only test out live streaming, but also, you know, talk about these headphones at the same time. So that being said, just make sure everything is looking all right. Also, I decided to do it without using, like I see everybody using StreamYard, so I decided to do it the only way that I know how, through OBS, and hopefully that doesn't turn out to be a mistake. Juan Pablo, what's up, man? Somebody's actually here. That's crazy. What's going on, buddy? That is wild. I was not expecting anyone to be here. Thought I would just be talking to myself this whole time. See, I'm just getting everything set up and making sure that, you know, the link is in the description, all that stuff. And then we can jump right into it. From Colombia, what's up, man? Did you know about the live stream in advance, or I tried to put some info out there? Did you just find it randomly, or did my mini advertisement actually work? Because I didn't post it on Twitter. I didn't post it on Instagram. I didn't even like make any announcements. All I did was I scheduled a live stream. I made a thumbnail, threw it up, and just went with it. So honestly, I wasn't expecting anybody to show up. Let's grab these. Was not expecting anybody to show up. So it's 4:07. I'll wait like, you know, a couple more minutes just in case. See who ends up coming in, who doesn't. And hopefully, I'm hoping that this is successful. Yo, what's going on, Mike? I'm hoping that this is successful because honestly, this is something that I've wanted to do on the channel for a long time. Yo, what's up, Bloxam? I've wanted to do it on the channel for a long time, and just haven't, because I didn't know. There's so many things when it comes to streaming. There's a lot of moving parts. Like, how do you let everybody know what time it's going to be? When would you do it? For a tech channel, what topics would you even bother to review or to talk about? So figured I'd test it out, see how it works. And so far it looks all right. The stream quality was another issue that I was worried about, because the preview on YouTube makes it, for some reason it was 360p, which looked gross. So hopefully it's actually streaming in 1080 like it's supposed to. I don't know why YouTube was dumbing down the preview. So if anyone is able to confirm that there's actually in 1080p, that'd be dope. Actually, I opened up a separate, so it's thrown up in 1020. Oh, okay, there it is. 720 and 1080 are both available. And just to be sure everybody hears me okay, sound is good, video seems to be all right. I'm just using my crappy Logitech webcam rather than my Canon. Yeah, so far so good, man. Happy Saturday. What's everybody up to? Today we are looking at these two guys right here. I know the cases aren't open, but if you have followed the channel for any length of time, then you're probably aware that I test out a lot of Soundcore products. And surprisingly, you would expect that at the price point that Soundcore drops all of their headphones and earbuds at, you wouldn't expect them to sound as good as they do. And they have been, in the last like year and a half, they are constantly trying to outdo themselves. They have so many separate price points and so many separate products that it's almost like they are hamstringing themselves by making so many good things at so many price ranges. And then they're so quick to build off of what they've done previously. So a lot of people were surprised that the Q35s even came out already, considering the Q30s just dropped like 6 months ago, and probably 6 months before that the Q20s came out roughly around the same time as the Q10. So there's a lot of things going on with Soundcore currently. So the Q35s, these guys right here behind me, there's really not much that's changed with the Q35s versus the Q30s. I actually threw out the Q35 box. I usually keep all of my product boxes. I don't know why I decided to throw the previous ones out. Like if you look right here, just beside me, tons of boxes down there. And then under the desk, there's like another 20 boxes. So I usually keep everything. For some odd reason, I decided to get rid of the Q30 box, and I really wish that I had it now. But even if you put the boxes side by side and look at them, it's very hard to tell what the differences are between the two products. So you've got the Q30s that come in this case here. So once you do the unboxing, it's straight up just this case. And then the Q35s, the newer ones, look like this here. So the case is actually very different. This one is like a heathered gray textured case. It's a hard shell case. You can hear me knocking on it. This one here has more like a, I don't want to say suede because it's not suede. Whatever it is that they use, it's very soft touch, very smooth. Obviously the shape of it is different. Still hard shell, but it's not as hard as the Q30 case. So right off the bat, like if I had to pick between just the two cases themselves and which product I'd want to buy based on the case, I personally like the Q30 case based on when you open it, there's a little pocket on the inside. It's hard to see. Let me hit the light right there. So there's a little pocket on the inside, and you can use that pocket, obviously like I've done here, to hold your aux cord, whatever other documents you might have, or your airplane adapter and USB cable. And then the headphones just sit just like so. Okay, so that's the Q30s. The brand new Q35s, a little bit different. Obviously opens the same way, but the issue that I have with these is there's no pocket on the inside. So there's nowhere to actually store your cables. They give you one of these little drawstring pouches, which, I mean, it's okay. At least they give you an option, but I've never liked these little things. Plus the issue of where the hell do I put it once I've opened the case, or when I'm trying to store these and throw them in my luggage or whatever it might be. So I just kind of tuck them in there and hope that it stays in when I zip the case up. But it would have been nice if they actually still included that pocket to separate your cables and cords and all of that stuff. What's going on, Anthony? So again, looking at the cases, very similar, two different shapes. This one has a pocket. The Q35 unfortunately does not. Now, when you look at the two headphones side by side, and I probably should have done this in a different room with better lighting, but these are the two headphones side by side. So the design is identical. I've actually seen some channels saying that the build quality on the Q35s, this guy right here, is different than the build quality on the Q30. They are the exact same mold. There's nothing different about the body of these two headphones. So if you look at the bottom right here, where all of the buttons are, it's the exact same button setup. Well, I guess I'd have to flip it around, but it's the exact same button setup. The buttons have the same clickiness. They're all in the same exact spots. Okay, there's nothing different about these two. The only maybe slight difference that we could discuss is the way that they've decided to actually paint them. So when you're looking at the color of the Q35s, you'll remember, and let me see if I have them on my desk here. You'll remember, for those of you who have seen the brand new Liberty Air 2 Pros, so they came out with a whole bunch of new colorways, and all of the colorways have a black base layer with an almost metallic looking colored paint on top. So these came in like a blue, pink, was it blue, pink, and there was a black and a white. Now, that same technique that they used to color these, that everybody has been a fan of, is what they've used in order to color the new Q35s. So it's the exact same as that, has that black underlayer with blue metallic paint on the top of it, but the rest of it is still that plastic design. The ear cups feel the exact same on your ears. Okay, so they didn't add any more cushion or take any away. They both click the same in order to increase the size of the headband. There's really nothing that's different between the two. The only difference between these two headphones, and the reason why you'd want to buy one over the other, is if you're somebody who is very good at discerning the differences between the codecs that these headphones use in order to stream your music. So these use the LDAC codec, which means you're getting the same quality as if you were playing your music or whatever media you're listening to off of a CD player. So we know that that currently is like one of the highest, most capable codecs that exist currently. You're able to pass that much more information that much more quickly from your phone or whatever device you're using to the headset. And in doing so, you're going to increase the overall sound quality of whatever it is that you're listening to. These guys here, if I'm not mistaken, use the aptX codec, so it's not going to be as good as LDAC. It's not passing as much information in each individual packet that is coming to the headset. Other than that, they both feature ANC, which is active noise canceling. They both have the same battery life. They both have an ambient sound mode, so that sound pass through if you turn the active noise canceling off. Everything else is the same. They integrate into the Soundcore app. I mean, that's pretty much it. So going back to the box, what's going on, bracket review? So going back to the box, like I said, a lot of people were looking at the boxes and being like, man, what is different between the Q35s and the Q30s? And so it kind of says it just right down there. It's hard to see, but high-res wireless audio, high-res audio, and then LDAC, which is the representation of the codec. Still getting that 40 hours of battery life, AI enhanced calls, smart wearing. So I think that also is one feature that might be different between the two, is this has a sensor on it so that when you take them off your ears, your music automatically stops. And when you put it back on, the music plays again. You can try to trick it. So with most headsets that have that feature, if you actually put them on your head and cover the ear cup like this, the sensor thinks that it's on your ears and will play the music. With these guys, they're pretty good at determining whether or not they're actually on your ear or not. However they've done it, I don't know, because I don't even see the sensor on the inside, which you're usually able to see very easily on other headphones. So for example, on my AirPods Max, if I take the ear cup off and you look at it there, so there's a sensor just on the inside which determines whether or not the AirPods are on your ear, and then that tells it to auto stop or auto play your music. And then on the ear cup, there's a hole that matches up with it so that the sensor is able to, I guess, just detect light. Pretty much you can see the lasers or the sensors kind of, well, they were going off. But for whatever reason, on the Q35s, I don't even see that sensor at all. So I'm not sure how they managed to go about doing the ear detection on these guys here, but it's pretty nice and it's super reliable. In terms of how they look on your head, I think they look pretty good. This part here might bother some people, so if you want like a more smoother, streamlined ear cup, you're definitely not getting those with these. But in comparison to something that is literally 7 times the cost, so if I put the AirPods Max on, so 7 times the cost, a lot of people hate the design of these. So it all comes down to personal preference. Like, these look super flat, they're a little bit heavier. I guess you would say they look more premium because of the, I believe it's stainless steel that they used on these here and here. But at the end of the day, sometimes spending less money doesn't mean that you are sacrificing on the aesthetic. Now, Layla, I'm married. Sorry. So going back to them just so you can see what they look like. There you go. So that's the Q35s. And then, like I said, if I were to swap these out with the Q30s, you probably wouldn't notice any difference whatsoever. So throwing on the Q30s, it's the exact same aside from the color. So if there's anyone out there that's telling you that the build quality on these is different, or anything at all about them really is different, they are completely identical. So again, Q35, the cushion at the top, versus Q30, the cushion at the top. Again, the exact same volume of cushioning that's been put into the headband. Appreciate you, Layla. How'd you find the stream? Are you a sub? Like, I can never tell. I always wonder how people end up finding the channel. Because I don't really do the best job of advertising anything. So I just kind of bank on YouTube putting my my content out there and hope that it works out. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? Anybody have any questions about the Q35s or even anything at all when it comes to the channel? Like, we don't just have to talk about the Q35s. I just, again, for anyone that came in a little late, I've been wanting to stream on the channel for a pretty long time. Sorry, let me fix that. I've been wanting to stream on the channel for a pretty long time. It was just a matter of trying to figure out topics. It's probably not as interesting to do live streams on tech topics. So I don't know. I figured I'll try it out and see. I was surprised to even get 1 viewer in here. It says that we've got 6 apparently, which is pretty dope. So I don't know, man. I'm willing to answer any questions that you guys have, or any products that you want to see reviewed on the channel moving forward. I've got a video dropping on Monday for the Soul ANCs, which are these guys here. So the Soul ANC wireless earbuds. Soul was kind enough to send these out to me, and I've been using them for about a month. So we're gonna throw down a review of those on Monday. I'm actually in the process of completing the video edit and uploading that. Actually, I was doing that right before the stream started. And then we've also got a video on the new 2021 12.9 inch iPad Pro with the mini LED display. I pre-ordered it. Unfortunately, those don't come in until, the end of May. I think mine's slated to arrive May 25th to May 28th. My birthday's on May 26th, so I'm hoping that that's when it shows up. But I'm really, really looking forward to that as well. Sorry, Juan, I just didn't see your question until now. So which one's best, the Q30 or Q35? Honestly, and maybe it's because I don't have the most seasoned ears when it comes to listening to music, I've gone back and forth between these two headphones. So, hang on. Just so that everyone believes me, let me just quickly grab my phone. All right, sorry about that. So, quick story time that has nothing to do with headphones, but has everything to do with smartphones. So, I have the iPhone 12 mini, and I have an iPhone 12 Pro because I'm an idiot. So, I bought the mini, and I really like the mini. Everything about the mini is awesome. And I use this a lot for the B-roll on all of my videos. So ever since I bought this has been my B-roll camera, essentially. And then I ended up buying the 12 Pro because I wanted to test it out and see if the cameras were really any different between the two. I had every intention of giving this phone back to Apple, but Ontario is on, so I live in Canada, and Ontario's on a lockdown again. So I bought this phone. I wanted to give it back like within the 14 days and go back to my mini, even though the battery life on this isn't the best. I just love how small the screen is and how easy it is to use. I have large hands, so even the Pro is relatively easy to use for me as well. Like my thumb can reach every part of this phone, but I just like the form factor of the mini. So my SIM card is actually in this guy right here. Because the battery life is much better and I'm kind of stuck with this phone for now, I figured I might as well use that. So to answer your question, Layla, this is what I use every day is my 12 Pro. But I use the mini a lot when it comes to my content creation in conjunction with my camera. Now, why is that important? So as I was saying, going back to what's better, the Q30 or the Q35. So I've been going back and forth between these headphones where I will play the same song on both of these phones. My mini is hooked up to the Q30s and my Pro is hooked up to the Q35s. I'll play the same song, have the phones on the table, and then just listen to 10 seconds with one, take it off, put the other one on for 10 seconds, and go back and forth that way to see if there's really a difference to my ears anyways when it comes to that whole LDAC codec being better at transferring information. Now, personally, I don't necessarily hear a difference. I know that internally, the bass on the Q35s out of the box is a little bit more intense than the bass on the Q30s. And the reason why that doesn't matter is because Soundcore has a really nice app that works with all of their headphones where you're able to play with the presets and play with the equalizer to get as much or as little bass as you want anyways. So the sound signature of these guys out of the box, you can change it to make it essentially whatever you want. So personally, I don't hear a difference between the two when it comes to LDAC, or I think it's aptX. I can't remember if it was aptX, the other codec for the Q30s. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I don't hear a difference. Now, there's going to be other people out there who do. And I think one major thing that's going to affect that difference is what app you actually use for streaming. So it doesn't matter what codec you're using. What matters is what app you're using, because based on the app that you're using, that's going to determine how much data is actually being able to get fired out to the device that you're listening to. And because you're streaming the music at the end of the day, that's going to be capped. So unless you are someone who has, like if you listen to El Jefe, if you've ever watched any of El Jefe's reviews, he's got like a crazy audio setup where he has all these, not all of these, but an audio device that's able to output music at very high quality, and it has to be wired, right? So you would have to use an aux cable or a specific cable in order to get the maximum amount of quality, the maximum amount of data transfer from whatever it is that you're using as your streaming device to your headphones, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, we are essentially just using whatever app, be it Spotify, Google Music, Apple Music, doesn't matter. You're sending the information wirelessly from your phone to your headset, right? So there's going to be a cap at how much data you can send in one individual packet to get to that phone. Now, when you use an aux cable and you're not sending it wirelessly, you're able to send more data, which is why any music you listen to on an aux cable is going to sound better than music that you stream from your phone over Bluetooth or whatever it might be. But then also, still, there's going to be some capacity or a maximum capacity of information that can be sent between the two. So it all depends what you use to stream. It all depends what you use to listen. And then all depends on what codec is actually being used as well, because the codec determines how much data can be sent. Maybe that's a little bit too technical for some people. Hopefully it's not, but I just think of it as like the codec is essentially, if you think of an envelope and you stuff that envelope with paper in it, right? The codec determines the size of the envelope and how much paper you can stuff in. And so the LDAC codec is a nice large envelope that's able to take a lot of paper that you can ship to your friend or whatever, your grandma on the other side of the planet. Versus the other codecs are smaller envelopes that can take less paper, and so you're not able to send as much information to your granny who's waiting for you to send her a letter because she's your pen pal, if those still exist. So like I said, the reason why I have these two phones currently is because I set them up and I connect them to two separate devices. That way I can listen back and forth, and I haven't been able to hear a difference on my own. And I know that it's just a limitation of the streaming device that I've been using. I've not done that same experiment using the aux cord because obviously the iPhones no longer have audio ports. So there's no 3.5 millimeter jack on these phones anymore. So it's hard to do a true auxiliary test or a true wired test if you don't have those options. So yeah, sorry for the long-winded answer, Juan Pablo, if you're still even in the stream. But that's just my 2 cents. I would suggest checking out some other reviews from, like I said, El Jefe is a great example of someone who probably is able to tell you that there is a discernible difference between the two and why, and how he was able to hear those things. Gameski as well, Gamesky, who also does tons of audio reviews. He probably would be able to give you a better breakdown of the sound difference between the two. But at the end of the day, I think that the sound of these is excellent. Like, I've never had any issues at all. So to jump onto the website real quick and just show you the price difference of the two. So these are the Q35s. We'll go down to the Q30s real quick if they're even still on the website. Excuse me. So headphones, over ear. Oh, they're down here. So yeah, you got the Life Q30s that come in at $79.99 right here. And let me quickly just check what the codec is so that I stop telling you guys that it's something that it's not. You can probably find my review on here, by the way, but I want to see if it lists it. So it's still high-res audio. It doesn't say which codec it is. No. So yeah, still high res, but it's $79.99, and in this info here, it also doesn't have the codec. But all these features, upgraded noise canceling, multiple modes, high res certified audio, clear calls, 40-hour playtime, 5-minute charge, the lighter build, customizable EQ, and transparency mode, all those things are also available in the more expensive model, which is the Q35 over here. And like you can see, the main feature of these, well, they separate it. So gold standard of sound based on the LDAC technology. 3 times more data is transmitted to Life Q35 active noise canceling headphones than by standard Bluetooth codecs. This lossless transfer ensures you hear every tiny detail in the music. So that's really the main selling point between the two. And then one of them is able to do auto ear detection and the other isn't. But it's a price difference of what was it? The other one was 79 of $50, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 79. And I think that's good math. But yeah, the price difference of like $50, right? But if you buy them on Amazon as well, then you're going to be able to get that at a much lower price. So Soundcore always does this, where you're able to buy it directly from them with no discount, $129.99. But then they also throw it on Amazon, and you'll get it for like $20 off. So, or maybe even more, maybe $30 off. So you can grab these for just over $100, or you can grab the Q30s that have a lesser codec, lesser sound quality for $79, and there's probably a coupon for like $10 off of that. So it really comes down to, with these guys, are you someone who is able to hear that difference between the two types of qualities? Like, do you have very trained ears for something like that? One. And two, do you just prefer the look of these versus the look of the Q30s in terms of the paint? Sorry for if that was loud. In terms of the paint and how shiny the Q35 headband is versus the Q30. Like, those are the only things that I would think about when deciding which one of these I actually want to buy. So again, that's just me. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, so as I said, got a couple videos that are dropping this weekend. I'm hoping to upload the iPad. So I've done an iPad video on whether you should order the 12.9 inch or the 11.2 or whatever it is, the 13 or the 11 inch iPad, the new one, and why, because a lot of people are upset with Apple's new release structure for those. So that'll be dropping probably, if not tonight, then at some point tomorrow. And then, like I said, we've got the Soul ANC headphone review dropping on Monday. And then for those of you who are into Android boxes, because those videos seem to consistently do well on my channel, I've actually got lucky, and I was sent over a couple Android boxes from the guys at Buzz TV. So I got the Buzz TV XRS 4900, and I've got the Buzz TV VidStick. So very excited to check these out. I've been playing with them a little bit already. Like, these ones I've already taken out of the box. I've set them up. I've been messing around with the UI just a little bit, but they actually ended up sending me 4. So they sent me 2 of each. And my hope is, based on the interest level and how the videos do, that I might just give all 4 of them away, already set up for those who might be interested. And if you've been here before, you know that when I do giveaways, I don't just limit it to Canada. I don't just limit it to North America. I ship it wherever it needs to go. So I'm not really worried about the shipping and all of that stuff. If you win it, it's yours. Whether you live in North America or Japan, doesn't matter to me. You're getting the prize that you deserve. But yeah, there's also a lot of other stuff that I need to give away. Like, my table's getting pretty crazy beside me. If anyone out there owns an iPhone 12 mini and you want a full set of dome glass, so I've got a full set of dome glass that I need to give away. I've got a second pair of Liberty Air 2 Pros that I need to give away. I've got a pair of Liberty 2 Pros that I need to give away. There's a ton of stuff. So hopefully streaming is a way to make the channel more personable and actually get to know some of the people that have been supporting the channel over the last, what is that? It's been like a year and 4 months, a year and a third. Because I think it'd be really dope to start getting to know some of you guys and hearing directly from you as to what it is that you guys like and would like to know. So yeah, like I said, this was mostly done to be a test stream to make sure that all of my equipment is working properly, that everything sounds okay, and that the quality of the stream doesn't look too bad. What's going on, Wilbur? Yeah, I just want to make sure that quality of the stream and all that stuff didn't look too bad, and see if we could actually pull a couple of viewers without actually advertising anything, and it looks like we've done okay. We didn't hit double digits, okay, but for someone who was not expecting to even have one single viewer, the fact that we're at double digits now, the fact that we've hit double digits on a stream when I've done zero advertising or anything of that nature, I think is a good sign. So if this is something that you are into, especially for someone that's watching this at a later date, so it obviously records it and still uploads it to the channel as a video. So if you're someone that's watching this in the future and you like this format as well, then please don't hesitate to drop a comment and let me know, because I'm just trying to continue to find new ways to hit content on YouTube and essentially expand the channel a little bit. You know, the channel has been very successful, and I think this is one cool way of being able to give back. But yeah, if nobody has any questions or anything like that for me, I'll probably end up getting out of here in the next 5 or 6 minutes and let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. So if you got any questions about the Q35s versus the Q30s, which one you should buy, if you got any questions about Soundcore products in general or just earbuds in general, I mean, I've got a table full of earbuds right beside me and I've only got 2 ears. So from the Netherlands, is it Kamambo? Hopefully I'm saying that right. That's the other thing that's really cool about live streaming is I used to live stream on Twitch, and it was awesome, but I really prefer the YouTube space a lot more. I find YouTube to be less toxic personally. Everyone on YouTube seems to be, for the most part, pretty nice, and I like how it, or maybe because it's filtering out all the bad comments, I don't know, but overall I find YouTube to be a lot more easygoing, and the reach is so much further. Like the fact that someone's able to hit me up from the Netherlands right now is unbelievable to me. So shout out to you, Kamambo. I really appreciate it, man. Glad that you were able to drop in, if even for a second. I watched your Liberty 2 review. Good job. Thank you. The Liberty Air 2, there's so many. The naming structure of the Soundcore Liberty series is not good. I'll say that, because you've got the Liberty Air 2s. So these guys here. Liberty Air 2, you got the Liberty 2 Pro, which it's hard to see. So Liberty Air 2, Liberty 2 Pro, and then you've got the Liberty Air 2 Pro, and you've also got a non-version of these, which is just the Liberty 2 Pro. Wait, Liberty. Now I'm confused. But whatever, you know that the naming conventions of these is not the best. Liberty Air 2, Liberty Air 2 Pro, and then the Liberty 2s and the Liberty 2 Pros. So 4 different things with the same name, essentially. I had the Liberty Air 2, but they weren't very compatible with my ears, so I went with the Galaxy Buds. That's fair. That's fair. The design on these, like, I have a weird ear shape. I talk about it on every video, I think. I feel like my ear canal is a lot smaller than most people's, probably. So the difference between being able to comfortably wear the Liberty Air 2 and the Liberty Air 2 Pro, just looking at the shape of these. So this is the Liberty Air 2 and this is the Liberty Air 2 Pro. These ones can't fit in my ears because this part is too large for my ear canal, so it doesn't sit properly, whereas these are just a little bit smaller and they fit well. The Galaxy Buds do fit very comfortably. Unfortunately, I gave my pair away. The Galaxy Buds do fit very comfortably and do sound pretty good. I haven't tried out any of the other Samsung earbuds, like the ones that look like a bean or whatever. Haven't tried those. Can't remember what those are called. Something Pros as well, I assume. Like that's just the word of the year, or the word of the last 2 years, is throw Pro on your product and hope that everybody buys it. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that for those of you still in here, you may have noticed that I've tried to stay away from, and for any companies that are listening to this right now, I've tried to stay away from all of the earbud reviews for the past little bit because I didn't want to kind of pigeonhole the channel. Like, I'm a tech enthusiast. It just so happens that I started off by doing earbuds and audio reviews because that's what I had available to me. So I figured before I got myself stuck in, the pattern of only doing headphone reviews, that I would kind of branch out and do other things. So if you are someone that came to Show and Tech because you were interested in finding out more about audio products, I appreciate you for coming, and I'm not going to stop doing audio products, but that's not all that I plan to do on the channel. So, like my second biggest interest right now in terms of things to review is definitely along the lines of cell phones. So I'm trying to get more into cell phone reviews. As you could probably tell, I did the iPhone SE. I did the iPhone 12 mini. I didn't do the Pro, and I probably won't do the 12 Pro as much as I've been enjoying the phone. I do want to get into like the Pixel 5 would be nice, even though it's a little bit late to probably do that. More of the Samsung devices. So I did a Note 10 Plus review, long-term review, and that went very well. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just didn't want to get myself stuck into only doing headphone reviews. But it's definitely a great way for people who are interested in starting a tech channel. That would be, I would say, the place to start, is because now there's so many true wireless earbud brands out there, and the price of them is coming down so much because the technology is really getting, I want to say mastered. Like, a lot of companies are starting to master the technology to get, maximum battery life and really good sound quality and all of those things to make consumers happy at any level. So, it's very easy to get your hands on a bunch of them and start cranking out reviews that way. I still plan to do them. As I said, I've got tons and tons to do still. Like, Soundcore just sent me these guys here, the Life A2 NC. Their names are so hard to keep up with. The Life A2 NC, and I've also got the Life .2s. So still gotta crank these guys out and give those a test. But I'm someone that I don't like to just test earbuds for a day and then make a review, or test them for a weekend and make a review. Like, for me, it's got to be at least a week of using them before I can do. It's got to be at least a week for me before I can do anything along the lines of trying to convince other people why they should or shouldn't buy something. So that's kind of why I have this backlog. There's probably a couple companies out there that think that I'm trying to mess with them a little bit and pull a quick one. I'm not trying to pull a fast one. I like to make sure that I test things out properly before I make a review. So, like, for example, Soul, the video that I'm dropping on Monday, I did tell them when they asked me back in, I think, February, I told them that I was busy. I had a lot of videos already on the go. So they've emailed me a couple times to be like, hey, like, are you still making a video, or is that coming out? What's the deal? And I'm not pulling a fast one. I wanted to make sure that I test everything out ahead of the Souls properly and make those videos. And then when I get to the Soul, it's going to take me another week or so, week and a half of testing your product before I drop the honest video for you. You know what? Let's go for a full hour. Started at 4, so we'll go till 5 p.m. If anyone's got any questions other than Layla's question, she's probably gone. I probably answered her question. She got mad and left. But yeah, it's not too bad. Looking at the quality, it turned out a lot better than I expected it would. I was really worried when I was testing the stream earlier today when it was only 360p and it looked terrible. Everything was so pixelated. Like, I know that I'm still just using a webcam. I'm not using an actual mirrorless camera or anything like that. And that's the other thing. I need to figure out how to get my my Canon M50. I want to be able to stream through the Canon, but I can't get a clear HDMI feed. And apparently there's a way to do it. But when I tried, it still has the autofocus circle on the screen, which looks terrible. Ever want to do projector reviews or tablets? I'm working on starting a couple review videos for a few products that are kind of obscure. Honestly, yeah. So I thought of doing and tried to do the little mini projectors. I can't remember the name of them, but I think Anchor had made a bunch of them. And I wanted to do that, but my thing was I couldn't get my head around how to actually film it. So I like to add B-roll, obviously everybody probably does. So I was like, I could get the projector and it would be easy to show the body of the projector and things like that. But then when it comes to the actual filming of the projector quality, like what could I do to ensure that it shows up as good on video as it does in real life when you're using it, right? Whereas with other products, you can articulate how well something sounds or how nice it is to use a certain device or whatever it is. I feel like with video devices, it's a little bit more difficult. Like if your examples aren't true to life or as close to it as possible. And I don't think that I have the right camera for it just yet. Tablets though, absolutely. I've only looked at iPad so far. So I did the iPad 12.9 inch, the 2020 12.9 inch iPad Pro, and I also did the most recent iPad Air. I recorded a video today about the 2021 iPad Pro with the mini LED. So that'll be dropping soon. And once that iPad actually comes in, I don't care about like when people do the benchmarks. So look at the benchmark numbers of these and look at how this one plays video games and my comparison between the 2020 and the 2021 is just going to be like all real life use. I don't think the average person cares about a benchmark score or how fast the calculator app. Well, sorry, that's a lie. iPads don't have the calculator app for whatever reason. How fast this app closes and how many apps you can have open in the background and all these things that like are just don't matter to the average end user. Like I try to keep my stuff, kind of geared towards the average consumer. What kind of camera do I use? I started off using my Note 10 Plus, believe it or not. My Note 10 Plus and my original iPhone SE, which is up there. So yeah, if you look at my earliest videos, it was this and my Note 10 Plus, which I just recently sold. That's what I use as my camera. Now I use Canon M50, which in a lot of ways is better, but in a lot of ways is also worse. So honestly, if you're just using a cell phone as your camera, don't feel like you're behind the eight ball, because a lot of times recording off of a phone is a lot more streamlined of a process than doing it on a camera. The only issue, and I saw your question, Juan, I'll answer it in just a second. The only issue with cell phone recording that I can't seem to get around currently is you obviously want to record using the rear cameras because that's the highest quality, right? So it sucks having to set up a mirror. So you put your phone on I've got this stand right here. Actually, it's a good thing it's close enough. So let me show you what my setup looks like. So I have just a regular like karaoke mic stand. Is this There we go. I have a regular karaoke mic stand that I just lock in place like this. Sorry, I'm trying to get it in the frame. I lock in place like this. Jeez, why is it so hard to get in the frame? There we go. And then I set my camera, so this just opens up. It's a Manfrotto. So I put my camera or my phone in there like so. And then you have to put a mirror behind it as your viewfinder in order to be able to see what it is you're recording. And so for the longest time, I didn't even have that mirror. And I would set my camera up, hit record, sit down, do some actions, hey, and just like make stuff up. And then get up out of my seat, run back, stop the video, watch it over, be like, damn, I gotta move over to the left a little bit. Move my chair slightly, and then just keep doing that process. So it would be like a 15-minute process just to get the right frame. And then I would record. Whereas El Jefe, like looking at his earlier videos, he showed like a behind the scenes. He had one of those personal mirrors just set up behind his phone in order to be able to see. And that worked out for him. So using a cell phone as your camera for YouTube is fantastic, man. And a lot of people can't even tell the difference. I got so many questions of people asking me, hey, what camera do you use when you make your videos? What camera did you use for that video? It looks really good, blah, blah. And it's like, I was using my Note 10 Plus. Like, it's just my phone camera. And they're so surprised. But I find using an iPhone really good because I edit everything on Apple devices now. And AirDrop is undefeated. Like, I can record a 20-minute video on my phone and AirDrop it to my Mac, and it'll take like 30 seconds to transfer, and then you're in the game. So that's why I do all of my B-roll just off of the 12 mini, is because I could forget something, but oh crap, I need this B-roll real quick. Go film it, go outside, film, and then highlight all the videos, AirDrop it to my iPad, and I'm good to go. Or AirDrop it to my Mac, start editing, take a thumbnail photo real quick, AirDrop that to my iPad, and then I upload the video from my Mac, and then I upload the thumbnail from my iPad, and then everything's good. So the Apple devices really streamline the process, I find. What's going on, Carpy? Dr. Carpy? Top 3 over-ear Bluetooth and earbuds true wireless. Didn't ignore your question, Juan. Hopefully you're still here for my answer. So I've used a lot of products, but I find that I always come back to the same ones. So this question's actually, that's a very good one, actually. So for me, with respect to, I'll do the wireless earbuds first. So the earbuds that I currently use the most, and I'm sorry, because I know you guys watched my Liberty Air 2 versus AirPods Pro video. So the earbuds that I use the most right now are the AirPods Pro. And the reason why I use these the most is because obviously recently having switched over to Apple devices, not only for editing, but also just for like personal phone use. I use these for the peace of mind because I'm always jumping between devices. So at any given moment while editing something, I will be using my iPhone for whatever, and I'll have these earbuds in, put my iPhone down, and then log into my iPad, and it'll automatically switch the audio over. And then I'll jump into editing on my MacBook Air, and it'll automatically switch to that. So for the peace of mind, I use these guys here. And that was just recently. So within the last maybe 3 months or so. Just again, because of that ease of use when you're in the Apple ecosystem. Before I used an Apple phone though, it was always between these two here. So these would be my 2 and 3. So I'd put the AirPods Pro first right now, and then 2 and 3. So I've got the Jabras 75Ts, and I've got my Liberty Air 2s, not the Pros, just the Liberty Air 2s. These I would use like crazy. I think in terms of like hours of use, I probably got way more hours of use on these two guys currently than I still do on my AirPods. But like I said, the AirPods is just due to the fact that I'm currently stuck in the Apple ecosystem because of my YouTube channel. Is it Naman? Did I pronounce that right? Naman Jane? Asking how the Q20s are. Just want to make sure I got that right. Apple definitely have a great ecosystem. Android has some catching up to do. This while using the Nokia 8.35G. Yeah, man. The Apple ecosystem. I never believed in it. I've never been an Apple guy up until what year? We're in 2021. Until late 2020 or mid to late 2020 is when I got my first personal Apple device. And then slowly I started getting more and more. So like I started off with the iPad Pro, and then I ended up getting the MacBook Pro. And then I used those for like a good year or so. And then the iPhone 12s came out, and I was really interested in the mini for the size. And then when I got the mini, I ended up getting the Apple Watch. And then it's like, it just kept going, right? And then I grabbed the AirPods Max, which, unbelievable. So going back to Juan's question, sorry, I'm jumping around the place. My top 3 over the ear. So I still prefer the Sony XM4s or XM3s. So if you want to save some money, grab the XM3s. You're not missing out on much. Honestly, the difference between the 3s and the 4s, negligible, to be completely honest. I like the 3s. I bought the 4s and I still only use my 3s, I guess because they were broken in and the cushions were nice and comfy for me. I know the 4s have a little bit more cushion, like 15% more cushion or whatever it is. But my number one over-the-ear headphones are still the XM3s. These guys here have been a huge game changer. The reason why I could never rate these number one is because they are so overpriced. Like, they're just so overpriced. There's nothing else to say other than they are so overpriced. In Canada, these are pretty much, I think, $800, right? So you're dropping almost $1,000 for a pair of headphones that you can't wear outside, really. So you can't really wear them outside. You wouldn't want to wear these in the rain, right? You wouldn't want to wear these anywhere that somebody might just steal them off the top of your head. Like they're so limited in where you can wear them. So these are just my personal home theater over-the-ear headphones. I don't really listen to much music on these anymore. What I use these for is the spatial audio, because the spatial audio on these is incredible. Game changer. So Disney Plus, I think Netflix now, Apple TV Plus, all have spatial audio enabled. And anyone that I've let use these and try the spatial audio have like watching their eyes widen as they're watching a show and listening to it for the first time. Like, you know that it's real. So the reason why these are so good, and if you've never used spatial audio before, it's the weirdest sensation. So my first time using it was with, I was watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus on my iPad. And I was watching it in bed, and my wife was asleep beside me because she had to get up early the next morning. And I turned the spatial audio on for the first time, and I'm watching The Mandalorian, and I kept second guessing myself. Like, I was like, oh crap, am I watching this on full volume without the headphones actually being connected to the iPad? Because it doesn't sound loud. It just sounds like surround sound. Like you're standing in the middle of the battlefield, all the stuff's going on around you, and it's directional, so you can hear everything as it's coming in and where it's coming in from. And then what kept throwing me off is it also, I guess, has gyroscopes in it. So when you turn your head, the audio stays in the same location. It's hard to explain. It stays in the same location. So it's really like 4-dimensional, I guess. So like if the Mandalorian was making noise, shooting a laser beam or whatever in front of your face, and you turn your head this way, rather than the sound turn and follow you, the sound stays in that same location. So I kept looking down at her and being like, crap, like, is it on? Is she gonna wake up? And the way that the sound kept coming in kept throwing me off. So I kept taking off my head and being like, what's going on? And then trying to listen for it. And if you know somebody that has them, or if you can get a chance to try them, I know it's hard with COVID, but if you can get a chance to try them, it's definitely worth it. Like my brother has a very expensive. Yo, what up, John? My brother has a very expensive surround sound / like theater in his basement, and even he tried those out and he was like, man, this would be amazing. Like it sounds exactly like I'm sitting in my basement, number one. And two, like when my kids are asleep and whatever, if I wanted to listen to or watch The Mandalorian and still have that exact same effect just on a personal level, I wish that I could use these. And the reason why he doesn't is because he's an Android guy, one. And two, for some reason, they don't allow spatial audio to work when it's connected to like your NVIDIA Shield on your TV or whatever it might be, right? So that's a limitation right now, is I think you need to have like an Apple TV if you want to use spatial audio while watching something on a television. So the spatial audio only works currently on the iPad and on the phone, which I think is kind of stupid. They're really limiting themselves. But sorry, I went off on another another tangent. So yeah, I would say the XM3s are my favorite over-ear headphones still. XM4s are also good, but price-wise, I always consider price when I'm trying to rank things as well. So the best bang for your buck, the XM3s with their price and the deep discounts that you can get on them, still number one. If the AirPods Max were cheaper and made out of more reasonable materials, I would probably rate them higher. If you were able to change the EQ on them on your own, I would probably rate them higher. But right now they're probably my number twos. And then I still use my Q30s for everything else. So like I said, I can't take my AirPods Max outside really. Like when I'm on my one wheel or whatever, if those fall off my head, I'm cooked, or they get scratched. Like, so it's not worth it. I gave my XM3s away. So next best thing, I use my Q30s for everything else. So whether I'm working out, whether I'm riding around the city on my one wheel, whatever it might be, I use it for those. And because I can connect these to my TV, my Android box, so my NVIDIA Shield through the Bluetooth settings, and it works just fine. Same can be said about the AirPods Max. You can connect them through Bluetooth to anything that you want, but you lose out on so many features that it makes it almost useless. Like if you're an Android user that bought the AirPods Max, I feel sorry for you, because there's no point in ever doing that. You're losing out on the entire purpose of the AirPods Max if you make that decision. And I actually made a video about that too. Can you use the AirPods Pro / AirPods Max with whatever third-party AirPods apps exist in the Google Play Store? And the answer was not quite. Not quite. Are the Q30s IP rated? Are they? I think they're just sweat resistant. Hold up. Let's jump back in. Sorry, guys. Let's jump back in. So looking at the Q30s, because I threw my box away. I'm sad that I did. I threw it away, and they're not IP rated on the Q35, so I'm assuming that they're not actually. Or at least, yeah. I don't see an IP rating on the Q35 box, so I'm assuming that the Q30s are not. I've sweat in mine. I work out in mine, and they've been totally fine. No, I don't think they are IP rated. Nope. Unless there's a separate info section that I'm not seeing. Let's check out Amazon.com, because like I said, there's, going back to the pricing of these, there's always a discount. Look at that, $5 off right there. Oh, you can get these in a 2-for-1. I wouldn't do that. That price seems a little off. Maybe A2 Pros are $30 off right now. That's nuts. XM4s are $278. So there you go. You can get a discount on the XM4s right now. Damn. I might have to scoop those. I got hella coupons. Let me check the Q35s really quick. Oh, they took the discounts off these. That shipping to Canada sucks. I'm on Amazon.com though. These are available in Canada. But yeah, I don't see an IP rating. Like I said, I believe that they are sweat resistant, so like IPX4, but they just don't label it as such. Because I can't see how sweat would undo these guys. See, so John, I was saying earlier, the one thing that's been inhibiting me from doing these live streams, and I've always loved live streaming. So I spent a lot of time live streaming on Twitch. I used to live stream on YouTube as well, back when I was a competitive card game player. And people would always say that, like that they enjoyed the anecdotes. But I just wasn't sure when it came to this YouTube channel, how that would work out, talking about tech, right? So I don't know. I for the first time when it came to YouTube, I was my own demon, and I told myself that it wouldn't work out. Like everything else in my YouTube journey, I said, screw it. If I want to do this, I'm going to do it. I don't care what anyone says. I'm just going to do it and see how it happens. Even starting the channel, when I would talk to people about it, they're like, why are you going to start a YouTube channel about tech? Marquez Brownlee already exists, don't you know? And it's like, yeah, dude, I know, but I'm going to try anyways. But then I told myself that live streams probably wouldn't work out. But this is definitely something that I do want to do. It's just, you know, number one, finding topics and finding out like what people actually like to show up to a tech live stream for. Like, I don't want to be the guy that talks about just leaks and news and stuff like that. So it's just kind of honing it in and finding, I guess, the perfect balance of what to have these live streams be about. Because now it shows up as a Soundcore Q35 live review. And I feel like when people watch the VOD, they're like, yo, this guy's not even talking about the Q35s. I did review them at the beginning for the first like 20 minutes. But should that really be the title? I don't know. It should be like Q35 live review plus something. But true stand, I have the Q35 and the LDAC does make a difference. The wear sensor is very responsive and the blue is definitely better blue with matte finish. So I was saying that, true stand, me personally, I couldn't tell the difference with the LDAC and the previous codec. And like I said, that might be because I've never tried it wired. I've only been using my iPhones and comparing the two headsets back to back, listening to the same sets of songs. I know that the sound signature of these is a little bit more bass heavy than the Q30s. But aside from that, I was saying the auto detection is really, really good. And it's able to somehow discern whether it's on my ears or on my head. You can trick most headphones by just putting it up here and the sensor thinks that it's on your ears and starts playing the music anyways. However they've done it is fantastic. And I really do like the blue finish because I was a huge fan of the finish on the Liberty 2 Pros, all colors, the pink, the white, this is black, and the blue ones. XM3 versus XM4. In Colombia, the XM4 is cheaper. If the XM4 is cheaper, Juan, I would grab those. I'm just saying, me personally, I like the XM3s. And I think, again, it was because mine were already broken in. There was also the fact that my XM3s were black and my XM4s were that white cream color. And I was always scared to like wear them to work out and get them dirty. So I'd always keep reaching for my XM3. So I think a lot of other things also went into it. But overall, you really can't miss if you go for either of those. You can answer questions about other tech stuff that you couldn't cover in your reviews. True. That's true. I'm gonna try. You know, I took the first step today and I dropped this live stream. I started this live stream and I've said it a couple times already. So sorry for those of you who've been here for the whole thing, but I've said a couple times, like, I didn't expect more than one person to come in and watch this stream because I didn't post it anywhere. I didn't post it on Twitter. I didn't post it on my Instagram account. I think I made a YouTube community post, but I don't even think people see those. I really don't know what the YouTube community feature is meant for, because like I'm pretty sure that our community doesn't see it. But I did put a post there, and then like 2 days ago, I made a thumbnail and I threw it up and I just said like scheduled live stream. So maybe scheduling the live stream 2 days in advance worked, and maybe if I scheduled it like 5 days in advance, it would give more people some time to say like, hey, I want to show up for that. But right now, I also am trying to figure out like, does it make more sense to do it on a weekday or a weekend? Should I have done this, you know, at noon on a Saturday versus 4 o'clock on a Saturday? Are most people busy? Is it better if I do it on a weekday night? Like, and trying to figure out the schedule that way. But I guess regardless, if I'm able to schedule them in advance as I did with this one, and just give people a heads up like 4 or 5 days in advance and say, hey, there's going to be a live stream Tuesday night at 6 p.m. That'll help people be able to show up. Marquez is great. I also appreciate your perspective. There can be more than one tech reviewer. I totally agree with you, man. It's just I had to convince other people when I would tell them that I wanted to start a tech channel. And that's like the default response is, yeah, but Marquez Brownlee has 14 million subscribers. It's like, that's nice. Well, your average consumer has 6 million subscribers. And then like they just give you all the other, Austin Evans has this many, like, how's your video going to be different than theirs? And it's like, well, I don't know, because I'm a different person. Maybe people come for the personality, or if not, then come for the voice or something. I don't know. I'm thinking of getting the Q35 and the Liberty Air 2 Pros. If you had to pick one or the other, which would you pick up and why? You were recommended this video at random, so you're not even JG14. You're not even a sub. That's awesome. I like that. I like the sound of that. That's good. That means YouTube's trying to help me out. Carpy, going back to your question, you're going for the Q35 or the Liberty Air 2 Pros. Which one would I pick and why? So me personally, and I even said this. So look, Soundcore doesn't pay me. If anyone thinks that they pay me, they don't. Soundcore they don't pay me any money at all, actually. They're just very kind and appreciate my honest opinions. So, and I said this in my Liberty Air 2 Pro review. Me personally, if I had to pick between the Liberty Air 2 Pros and the Liberty Air 2s, oh, it's backwards, and the Liberty Air 2s, I would pick the Liberty Air 2s. So off rip, just so you know, I would rate these guys still higher than these ones here. So that kind of messes up your question. I'm sorry, but that's just what I would do personally. These are cheaper. I think that they sound amazing. I think that the passive noise canceling of just having that seal in your ears is good enough. I'm also the same guy that made a video about why you don't need ANC, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but this is where my money would go. This would be bang for buck right here, and these are still getting updates constantly through the Soundcore app. So if I had to pick between these or the Q35s, because now your answer is pretty obvious, I wouldn't choose the 2 Pros. If I had to pick between the Liberty Air 2s and the Q35s, for my use case, I would still go with the in-ear buds. And the reason why, and this is just a personal thing, when it comes to like just everyday use, I prefer to have these, because if somebody calls me on the phone, I just pop in one and I can have a conversation, or pop into whatever it is, and it's seamless, right? Like you don't look out of place walking around with just one in or two in. Versus if someone calls me on the phone and I'm like, oh, hold up, let me just get my headset real quick, bomb, and then I throw these on in order to have a phone conversation. So convenience, these definitely win over these guys here. Overall sound quality, obviously, yes, this is going to be better, but in terms of convenience, and me, I'm all about convenience. So when I'm riding my one wheel, I prefer to have earbuds on versus over the ear headphones. For a couple of reasons. You don't want to use ANC when you're out on your bike or on a one wheel or skateboarding or whatever, because you want to be able to hear traffic and whatnot. So there's that. These, because they're just passive, you can still hear your surroundings pretty well. The music still sounds good for whenever you're just at home and you want to jam out or whatever. I also like to listen to a lot of content on my couch, laid back or in my bed laid back. I hate wearing headphones while laying down because you can't really turn over on your side and do all that stuff. So for me, it's always going to be a set of earbuds over the ear headphones for everyday use. If you're just talking about like what's best, if I'm someone that I just want to listen to music, I love music. I've always got music on and I want the best listening experience, then yeah, the Q35s. They've got pretty decent ANC and their ambient sound mode is nowhere near the AirPods Max, but they're still pretty good. Soundcore's customer service is insane, but the quality control should be better. I had a pair of Q20s that kept breaking at the same joint, and they've been sending me replacements like 4 times now. Oh, man. So like you said, it's good, but the quality should be better. Like there's no reason why they should be sending you the same thing 4 times. Personally, I've never liked the Q20s. I preferred the Q10s. So would you ever consider just asking them to send you a pair of Q30s since they've had to send you the Q20s so many times? Because the Q30s and Q35s are a lot more sturdy. They've got that metallic headband. If that's where it's breaking, I'm not sure. But I would try to, get them to send you out a newer model and maybe that would fix it, because I know every iteration of product that they drop, they get much, much better at the construction. And no problem, Carpy Man. Hopefully, that helped you. I don't want to steer you away from the Q35s if that's what you were looking to get. Like I said, it's a personal thing. That's just what I would do. But also, I'm fortunate enough that I have both options so that I can constantly go back and forth. I know it's a little bit different when you've got to buy both of them. So definitely that is a factor as well. But I know if it came down to like, I have $150 and I'm only going to buy one of them, I personally would buy the cheaper one that still sounds great and has a use case for everything and pocket some money versus buying the more expensive one, having less money in my pocket and only being able to use it for certain situations, if that makes sense. No problem, JG. I'm pretty sure that they would go for it, man. Like, Soundcore is very reasonable. I really think that they would, especially outlining your history, like they know that they've sent you the Q20s numerous times, even if it was one extra time that they sent it to you. So you bought a Q20, they sent you a Q20 and both broke. I think that's enough to be like, hey, can I just move up to the Q30s? I know the quality on those is better. If you want me to pay for like the $6 for shipping or whatever, I'll do that. But here's what I would appreciate if you guys could do for me. I think you'd be fine. But knowing them, they'll send it for free. But yeah, man, this is crazy. We've been streaming 77 minutes and somehow got double-digit viewers. That's nuts. That is honestly way beyond expectation. Some people probably think like, well, if you've got 7,000 subs, like, shouldn't you be expecting 100 people viewing? It doesn't even work. It never works that way. Channels with like 50,000 people will do a live stream and get 20. So the fact that we've got 12 talking about some headphones, I think is pretty clutch. But yeah, so I think, what day is it today? Today's Saturday. I think I'll try this again. Because I'm still testing it out. I'm going to do, let's see. I'm going to do, I keep losing my train of thought. I'm going to do a weekday night. I'll probably try like Monday night and just talk about like the new iPad. So the fact that you've got to pay for the 12.9 inch iPad in order to get that new mini LED screen, versus just buying the 11 and now giving up that feature, how that relates to the same paywall structure that we've seen with the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. So if you want the best camera, you got to buy the 12 Pro Max, which is the biggest and most cumbersome, probably inconvenient. So have that as a talking point for those who might be interested in breaking down some Apple. That's one topic I want to talk about. And there was a second. Oh, AirTags. Obviously AirTags. And, you know, if those are actually going to be useful. And then do it on like, what day is today? Today's, I keep saying that, Saturday. So yeah, if you try like Monday night, Monday at like 7 p.m., 6 p.m., I don't know, Eastern time, and see how that works and see how the viewership changes between the two. And that'll kind of give me an idea of whether live streams are something that would be better for us on Show and Tech on the weekend or on a weekday, and kind of go from there. What's up, Brad? Soundcore is such an underrated company. Really, they are, man. And for me, anyways, they kind of popped out of nowhere. Like I was lucky to come across them, especially being in Canada, because we can't get Soundcore products at like Walmart and stuff as you can in America. I've checked numerous Walmarts. We don't have anything Soundcore here. And it was kind of just by chance that I stumbled across Soundcore products on Amazon while I was looking for while I was considering buying the AirPods Pro when they first came out. And then that's why I ended up making that AirPods Pro versus Liberty Air 2 video, because I was like, man, these are actually so good. Why do people care about AirPods? And I made that video, and that video ended up being my best video to date. I think it's got, definitely has over 100,000 views. I don't know what it's at now, but it's pretty high. Next review on, what is that, M&D 08 earbuds wireless. What are those? What are those? Let me see. M&D. Should I know what this company is? M&D? M&D 08 earbuds. Oh, shit. M&D. I mean, shoot. Sorry. Sorry. I don't cuss on this channel. Master and Dynamic. My bad. I definitely should have known. I was like, M&D, how do I not? What? Is this supposed to be something that I know? Let me see. MW. So they show up as MWs. Trying to get to Amazon. If there's any kids watching, my bad for cussing. That's exactly why I don't. Nah, I don't see them. There we go. Master and Dynamic. So I'm only seeing 07s. Is it how do you pronounce your name? Is it Marix? Or is it Merrick? Merrick's. But it's funny you say that. So having taught grade 7 and 8 students, like obviously for them, all that they know is Apple, right? So the first time that I wore my Liberty Air 2s in the school, I don't know, was it lunchtime? I don't know when it was, lunchtime or phys ed or whatever it might have been. I think I put them in to leave for a class, and they're like, why'd you buy bootleg black AirPods? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's all they know, right? So people do that all the time. And then even people that I know, and it'd be like, okay, if that's how you feel, listen to these one time and then try your AirPods and then tell me what you think sounds better. AirPods are a knockoff Soundcore Liberty Air 2. Okay, Marx. Thank you. Sorry for mispronouncing. Marx. But yeah, so I'm only seeing Master and Dynamic 07s. I'm not seeing the 08s. I remember watching Jim's review room talking about the 07s. Java 75Ts are down to 169. This is Canadian prices, by the way. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'll hit up Amazon.com just so I don't throw you guys off. But yeah, Canadian prices, just so everyone's aware, are freaking brutal. The worst. The worst. Man. Yeah, so Master and Dynamic MW08. So still 07s. I don't know where I would get the 08s from. I guess I'd have to order it directly from them. Which, I mean, I guess I could do. But you'd think they'd be more readily accessible, no? Hurts their pride. Well, when you drop like $200 for a set of earbuds and someone shows you a pair that you can get for less than 100 and they outshine yours, that would be a good reason to be upset. Oh man. Oh, you found them? Can you drop the link in the chat so I can click on it? I don't know why I can't see it. Also, how do you guys like those smooth transitions for a first time stream? See how smoothly those transitions were? Those are the only ones that I have. Like I said, I used to stream on Twitch, so I've got stuff sort of figured out. I don't want to say I got it all figured out, but even though my camera's not the best, I know my microphone's at least decent, and that's all that matters. When it comes to live streaming, when I don't stream on Twitch anymore, but in order to start the growth on my channel, it was when I upgraded my mic 100%. I used to use a headset with one of those tinny sounding mics and people would not stick around. And then when I got this one, it's like I was a whole different person. Dude, I've been saying it so many times, but I'm actually so excited. Like to see 10 people watching, that's whatever, man. Small victories. I'm super excited about that. I am pumped. I wonder if I would have done a lot better if I put it on Twitter or something. Have you guys ever heard of the app called ShakePay? I guess it's a crypto app. Another one of them. I saw that, the Mother's Day event. Just get your mom a pair, like 7 pairs of headphones. Oh, man. But no, this was fun. I like this more open, just kind of hanging out YouTube format. I still love making videos and editing videos, but it's nice to just kick it sometimes. Can I kick it? Maybe next time I'll throw in some background music or something. But yeah, man, we ended up doing 90 minutes. So like I said before, I think 30 minutes ago, actually it was 35 minutes ago, I'm gonna jump off, let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I gotta cook some food and do all those things, and also finish editing these 2 videos that I recorded today. I am using OBS, yeah. I was gonna use StreamYard just for the ease of use, but then I was like, man, my OBS is already set up. Like I've got all of my, I had all of my Twitch stuff set up already, but I turned it all off just in case I messed up and did the wrong transition. I do got my thank yous though. Hang on, let me see if this still works. No, it's not gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work. Oh man, still there. What's this? Yeah, I forgot I had all these. We're good to go. Good to know it still works, man. All these little transitions that I used to use just for jokes.
I think you're pretty neat, but I respect your distance.
I am going to have to fix you, manage you to on a more personal
YouTube doesn't
scale,
this video now.
a more micro form of management. Jim, what is that called?
Microagement.
Boom.
Anyways, like I said, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. It's 5:35 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to everyone that was able to make it out to the stream. If you sat through this far, or you're someone in the future that's scrubbing through this stream in order to find all of the Q35 and Q30 content, all that stuff was done in the first like 35 minutes or so. We did answer a couple questions breaking down the Soundcore products. Also had a couple good questions from the community that were asking about, you know, whether, for example, I would buy the Liberty Air 2 Pros or the Q35s if I had to buy one. So all that stuff's kind of laid out throughout the video. Maybe I'll go back and timestamp it if I have time when I'm editing all the other stuff. But again, trying to do another live stream on Monday night. So Monday night, roughly, I want to say 5 or 6 p.m. I'll throw a thumbnail up with the scheduled stream. That way you guys have the information there. I'll try to get that done this evening. If it's not Monday night, then it'll be Tuesday night. So hopefully you guys are able to make it out. And then again, video dropping tomorrow on the 2021 iPad Pro and why I'm sticking with the 12.9, which I also pre-ordered, why I pre-ordered the 12.9. And then on Monday, we've got a review dropping of the Soul Sync ANC earbuds. So lots of stuff coming down the pipe. Thank you guys all for your support again. Super excited to have finally faced my fears and cranked out a live stream to help further my goal of at least 50 videos for the year of 2021. I think live streams will definitely help that out a lot. As always, thank you guys. Really appreciate the support. Much love as always. Throwing up 2 of them. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.